Today we are doing Srimad Bhagwad Gita, chapter 2, sloka 11. Siddhant will do chanting Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
श्रीभगवानुवाच
Ashochya
अशोच्य
Nanvashotsvam
नन्वशोत्स्त्वं
Pragyavadanscha
प्रज्ञावादांश्च
Bhashase
भाषसे
Gatasuna
गतासूना
Gatashuncha
गताशुंश्च
Nanushocanti
नानुशोचन्ति
Panditaha.
पण्डिताः
Now sloka 12. Natvevaham
न त्वेवाहं
jatunasam
जातुनासं
natvam neme
न त्वं नेमे
janadhipa
ज्ञयाविह
nachaiva
न चैव
na bhavishyamaha
न भविष्यामः
sarve vayama
सर्वे वयम्
tah param.
तः परम्
Thank you. Now we will do the meaning part. Chapter 2, sloka 11. So now Sri Krishna ji is starting his teachings. So Sri Krishna ji is considered to be the supreme teacher. So we are learning from the supreme teacher. Fine. So he is considered to be the supreme teacher because he has teach this subject called Srimad Bhagwad Gita, Science of Life, like how to live a life, how we need to be a person, and what should be our goal, right? So here Sri Bhagwan Uvacha, Sri Krishna ji has said, Ashocyan, not worthy of grief, Anavashyacha are mourning, Tvam you, Prajanavadan word of wisdom, Cha and Bhashyase speaking, Gatasoon the dead, Agatasoon the living not dead, Cha and Na never, Anushochanti grief, Pandita the wise. So now here Sri Krishna ji is talking to Arjun. Both are standing in the middle of both the army. Arjun has expressed everything and now he is silent. Now, and he has approached for the help to Sri Krishna ji that I am surrendering. Please help me and guide me. On that, Sri Krishna ji is saying, O Arjun, you mourn that which is not worthy of mourning, and on top of that, you are hiding behind the words that seem intelligent. The wise men do not grieve for that which has already happened in the past, nor that is yet to happen, meaning who have already died or who will die in the future. So basically, Arjun is grieving for the death of his friends, relatives, and the grandfathers, right? So for that, starting with this verse, Sri Krishna ji initiates his discourse with a dramatic opening statement. Arjun is lamenting or grieving for what he feels are very valid reasons, but rather than agreeing with him, Sri Krishna ji takes the wind out of his arguments. He says, Arjun, though you may feel you are speaking words of wisdom, you are actually speaking and acting out of ignorance. Arjun is Arjun is feeling that he is speaking wisdom words. He is telling very correct. But Sri Krishna ji is saying all these are mode of ignorance. So what is that? Tamaguna. So no possible reason justifies lamentation. So what Arjun is saying, according to Sri Krishna ji, is not at all justified. The Pandits, who are the Pandits, the great sages or the wise men, never lament, neither for the living nor for the dead. Living in the sense, living being. They don't lament for any living being and they don't lament for any death of any living being. Hence, the grief you visualize in killing your relatives is illusory, and it proves that you are not a pandit. So Shri Krishna ji saying this proves that you are not a wise man, because Arjun was a wise man. He was a great warrior plus a great devotee of Shri Krishna ji. But this situation made Arjun not a wise man. He became very emotional. So this situation was actually created by Sri Krishna ji so that he can give his teachings to for us. है ना? Through Arjun he is conveying the message to us, to all the human beings. So he wanted to convey, but if you notice, he will never come for help on its own. He will come for help only when you call him. If you see all the stories or all the serials or movies, he is there. He is there always with us. But he will help only if a devotee calls for the help. Right? If you notice, if you realize, you can all again watch or listen to the stories. He's always there. He's always there with the devotees, taking care. But even he tests his devotees. Do you remember me when you are in good times, or do you remember me when you are in bad times? So this is the testing, testing trick of the Supreme Lord, that when we are in trouble, he will not come for help, even though he is taking care, but he will wait for us to remember him. And even he tries when we are happy. That are we remembering him when we are happy? Generally, we don't remember, right? Generally, human beings are like, when everything is going good, why we should remember God? Everything is fine. When something bad will happen, we will think of the God. That is a wrong attitude. You should always remember God. Even though you are happy, you are sad, always. That is what Sri Krishna ji is telling. Okay, I will go off this shloka. I will come back to this shloka. That here Sri Krishna ji is addressing Arjun, that what you are thinking, that you are saying good words or great words, you are acting like a wise man. Actually, you are not acting like a wise man. You are acting like an ignorant person, and this proves that you are not a wise man, you are not a great sage, you are not a pandit. Okay, this is what been said in shloka 11. Who is going to explain?
So
Volunteer.
I can tell, ma'am.
Yeah, Anjali ma'am,
Okay, here after hearing that Arjuna is sad and doesn't want to kill his own people and he doesn't want to fight against his own people, the Krishna is telling to Arjuna that you are feeling for the people who is not worth for that. So he is also telling like you are talking like a big pandit and uh, feeling sorry for them, but they are not worth for that. And the wise people or the good people will not feel bad or will not feel anything either for the living people or for the dead people. They won't feel, they will not have any feelings. That's what is trying to say. Thank
yeah,
you.
thank you ma'am. Because they are equanimous. है ना? They are equanimous, they don't react. We are
Yeah,
we
that's
are
right.
we are reacting, right?
Mm,
We have not attained that state that we are equanimous, we are not reacting for good or bad. But wise people or the great pandits or the great sages, for them, this material world and the relations and everything is, for them it is no, it is not at all worth. For them, the motive is something else. It is beyond our level. It is only to be in divine consciousness, to remember Sri Krishna ji, to meditate upon him. So that is the level. Sri Krishna ji saying that, Arjun, you are in that level. But now you are not behaving up to that level. You are behaving like a ignorant person. Okay, next who is explaining? Ritu Babi?
So in this shloka, Sri Krishna is replying to all this while he was listening to Arjuna and Arjuna's reasons not to fight. So finally, he says that all your words of wisdom, you may feel that you're talking wisely, but you are hiding your ignorance. It shows your ignorance. It's not wise words that you're saying, because you're feeling for people who are going to die or who are dead, which is not right. He
Thank you.
says that you are not talking wisely.
Thank you so much. Akriti,
Ma'am, I didn't understand. Now I understood.
now you understood? You would
Yeah.
like to say or you want to listen to everyone?
Ma'am, listen to everyone.
Okay, so then you tell in the last.
Okay.
Nalini ma'am.
So here, Krishna says to Arjuna that while you speak the words of wisdom, that you are actually mourning for, you are grieving for the people uh, who are going to die, and who are living. You are mourning for these two people, but if any wise person or pandita will not feel for the person who died or who is living. So it is not wise to just grieve for those people.
Thank you ma'am. Vandana Didi, would you like to explain? You're mute, I think. We are not able to hear you.
I like to listen actually.
Yes, now we can hear
I
you.
like to listen. I like to listen.
अच्छा ठीक. Siddhant.
Yeah, so here, after listening to Arjun, all his arguments and everything, here Sri Krishna, he says that now he says that you might think that you're talking like a wise man, like a learned one, but in my point of view, you're not acting like what you are. You are acting below. You're acting selfish, lazy. So here he says that because Arjuna is grieving for people who are alive, and people who are like wise and learned don't grieve for either alive or dead souls. They're equanimous. They stand in between. They don't grieve, and yeah, so they're not happy. They're not sad. So here he's saying you're not acting like you're acting selfish. You're not acting like the true Arjuna. So here he says that is because that you're grieving for people who are dead or alive, and that wise people who is true devotees don't do that.
Thank you. Akriti.
I understood little bit.
Okay, you can say.
Then after Arjun expressed himself, Lord Shri Krishna is telling that you're not talking like a true Arjun, and you think that you're talking like a wise person, but the ignorance is still inside you, and ignorance means tamoguna.
Thank you. You understood. This is what Sri Krishna ji is saying to Arjun. That you are a wise man, but you are not acting like a wise man. You now become a ignorant person because he is grieving, he is sad that his relatives are going to die, he is going to kill. And he shouldn't be sad because he is a warrior and he was fighting for good. He was not fighting for bad. Matlab, Arjun is fighting for good reasons to happen. Okay?
Yeah, I understood.
Thank you. Vandana Didi, you want to say something?
I have a doubt.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me? I have a doubt. Here, you are telling Bhishma Pitama and Dronacharya is not worthy to grieve. Like, but they were great people themselves, na? So, matlab, telling कि they are not worthy to be grieved is not a good thing, na? Like for them, they were great themselves. Like, na?
Yeah, true.
So, uh, so I'm not getting the proper answer for this. Like,
Yeah, they
what
were
to talk on
themselves
this
great,
matlab,
great person, great devotees of Sri Krishna ji, but they were taking the wrong side. They were taking the side of adharma. It was their choice, you know. So they were worthy to be
it was
killed.
their choice, but ultimately they were great persons, no?
They were great
They
persons,
were
so they
bound
will
to
get moksha.
they were bound to take that side. Kaurava's side, they were bound to take their side, no? They
Because
had
they have took
no
the
choice.
vow.
But within they understood, they know very well that Krishna is and Arjun are a true person, and they wanted to be on their side, but they couldn't be on their side.
Correct.
They were not wrong.
They were. That's what Sri Krishna ji has said, that they were wise person, but taking the wrong side is also wrong. Sri Krishna ji said that when you know what is correct, you have took your choice, you have took your decision. So that is the reason after getting after dying they got moksha. Their soul went into the soul of Sri Krishna ji. That is what everybody's motive is supposed to be. So that is the benefit they got of being a devotee of Sri Krishna ji, and that is the learning we'll get, that whatever is wrong we should not take care of, we should not take the side of the wrong thing. Whatever vow we have taken, anything, it doesn't matter. So the that is Sri Krishna ji has said that because Bhishma Pitama and Dronacharya have taken the wrong side, they were taking side of the dharma. That is that's why they have to be killed. They were killed, but they got moksha. So
They
इसलिए
got
बोलते हैं
moksha
अन्याय
because they
सहना भी
were
गलत है, अन्याय का साथ देना भी गलत है। अन्याय सहना, अन्याय का
they
साथ
were
देना, चाहे आप कितने भी महान
मजबूर
इंसान
थे ना
हो।
वो लोग।
सॉरी।
जब ये भीष्म पितामह और द्रोणाचार्य दोनों जन माने अच्छे और इतने ग्रेट होने के बावजूद भी वो लोग मजबूर थे कि है ना, वो लोग के पास और कोई चॉइस नहीं था। वो लोग कुछ नहीं कर सकते थे। वो लोग मतलब क्या बोलते हैं, मतलब अच्छा सही गलत समझ रहे हैं, सब कुछ देख रहे हैं, फिर भी वो लोग कुछ कर नहीं सक रहे थे। इतने ज्यादा मजबूर वो लोग जब हो सकते हैं, तो अपने लोग तो आम इंसान है, अपने लोग अन्याय देखते हुए भी चुप रहना पड़ता है कहीं कहीं, है ना? तो
तो
वो लोग जब कुछ
अन्याय
नहीं कर सकते,
देख के
लेकिन फिर
चुप
भी वो
रहना,
लोग
पर
दिल से
उसका
अच्छा
साथ नहीं
चाहा।
देना। उन्होंने साथ दिया। चुप रहना चलता है, पर साथ नहीं देना।
साथ दिए,
उन्होंने साथ दिया ना। वो लोग लड़े,
लेकिन
कितना मारे।
अन्याय का साथ दिया, वो लोग को हाँ मोक्ष मिला। फिर भी उन लोगों को
हाँ, फिर भी मोक्ष मिल गया।
मोक्ष क्यों मिला फिर उन लोगों को?
क्योंकि वो भक्त थे ना,
हाँ
कृष्ण भगवान के बहुत बड़े भक्त थे। और जाते जाते उन्होंने
हाँ,
मेडिटेट किया कृष्ण भगवान पे। वो आता है भागवतम में। दिस कम्स इन भागवतम दैट वाइल लीविंग द बॉडी, like while leaving the body, Bhishma Pitama has only focused on Sri Krishna ji. This part comes in Bhagavatam. So that is why he got moksha, and even though he was the great devotee of Sri Krishna ji through the birth, and while he got a boon that he will leave the body by his choice. So while leaving the body, he had focused only on Sri Krishna ji and he got moksha. I was about to tell something, I forgot. So basically, that is what it's all Maya and Leela of Sri Krishna ji. The no, we have so many questions, but we get the answers by reading more and more and understanding more and more.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, here the time has come.
But here uh, now I like to explain this one,
Yeah, please.
chapter 2 and sloka 11.
Huh.
So I think here Krishna ji is telling Arjun कि you are not uh, at that level, because you are mourning and you are fearing and you are grieving for your grandfathers, है ना? So मतलब trying to tell कि they are great themselves, है ना? And they are going to die. But that thing you have to accept it, and you don't have to grieve for them or mourn for them, and be wise enough to be bold, and you fight with them, है ना? This is मतलब this is my chakra, and I am telling you to do this. and you don't have to mourn and be proud of them. Like something like that, he's trying to tell, like
Yeah, true. See, even though no Bhishma Pitama and Dronacharya were wise men themselves, they know everything. Still, they have injured Arjun and Shri Krishna ji a lot. In Bhagavatam, it comes that continuously Bhishma Pitama and Dronacharya were no they were aiming Arjun and Shri Arjun. They were aiming Arjun, and to save Arjun, Shri Krishna ji was hurting himself. He was taking all the arrows on him, and he was full of blood. So this was being said by Arjun in Bhagavatam that to save Arjun, Shri Krishna ji had got hurt himself so many times from arrows of Bhishma Pitama and Dronacharya. So this when comes, when Arjun was happily living his life, they all forget about Bhagwad Gita, all the teachings. Obviously, right? They got everything. They were living happily. They forgot the teachings of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Then they came. Then Arjun went. One day, Arjun thought that I will go and meet Sri Krishna ji in Dwarka. He went over there and he saw Sri Krishna ji is not there. He already left the earth. He came back. He was very sad. He was, no, extremely sad. He was, the Yudhishthir was extremely worried by seeing Arjun so much sad. Then Arjun realized everything, whatever Sri Krishna ji has done for him. In that, it came that during the Mahabharat war, मम्मी मम्मी रिकॉर्डिंग हो रहा है. So
not getting your what.
that time Arjun was recalling the way we recall somebody leaves us and go. So everything no comes in the flashback. Okay, what this was done. We both were together like this. We had a good time like this. He helped me like that. Same way Arjun was recalling everything, whatever Supreme Lord has done for him. So at that time, Arjun was expressing that he was so tired by fighting that he got down from his chariot, and that moment Bhishma Pitama was putting the arrows and arrows to Arjun, and Sri Krishna ji was coming in between, and he was getting hurt and he was full of blood, but he was not letting Arjun to happen anything. He was just saving Arjun. So when Bhishma Pitama was knowing that he is the Supreme Lord, why he was putting the arrows, why he was shooting the arrows? Will we shoot? Whatever woe you have to, then what is the use of being the wise man? When you are wise man, when you are a devotee of Sri Krishna ji and you are shooting the arrows on him and you are making him blooded, you are hurting so much. So this is all Maya and the creation of and Leela of Sri Krishna ji. Like no, if we cannot find the answer why happened this and what happened this. Sri Krishna ji says you don't go behind that why happened, what happened. It is all my wish. That is Sri Krishna ji's wish. What we have to do to remember it. That's it.
And what all happens for the good, we have to accept everything and move forward.
Ha, yeah. Whatever comes in
The
our
what
way.
all happens in our life, yeah, we should accept it's Lord's wish,
Yes.
and because of His wish, everything is happening in our life, and all is for good.
Correct.
Ma'am, in
Nalini?
And
Chennai,
if we accept like this, life will be easy for us. Like
Yeah, true, very true, ma'am. Yes, Nalini, ma'am.
ma'am, in Chennai, we have one temple, Partha temple, ma'am. It's old temple. So very, very old temple, ma'am. This is the Lord. So this is the deity of that temple. So in that deity, the God has so much wound. So they used to say because Krishna have fight for in the war and he got all the arrows and wounds. So that's why he has all the wound in that. So
Okay,
that
okay.
the temple we have that Lord with a lot of wounds in his face.
Ma'am, please type the name in the chat box because we are from Chennai. Once we can visit at least this temple. I was not
Very,
aware of it.
it's very, very, very old temple,
what
ma'am. Partha temple.
repeat the
Which
name?
area?
Partha Sari.
It's triplicate near the
Acha.
Thousand Light.
Acha, triplicate 1000. Will you type it in the chat
Yes,
box?
yes,
The
ma'am. I will.
temple name.
Now some festival is going on there. I will type, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, it's even in
Are there any
the
temple in
जो
Chennai?
ये जो 108 होते हैं ना विष्णु के मंदिर, उसमें से एक है ये
Acha,
पार्थसार
acha.
के मंदिर.
Okay, okay. Good, nice.
Came to know
हाँ.
exactly where is it in Chennai?
चेन्नई में
Parthasarathi
ट्रिप्लिकेन के
temple.
पास. इन
Chennai
चेन्नई
mein, huh?
नियर ट्रिप्लिकेन. इन चेन्नई
Visit
नियर
this time.
ट्रिप्लिकेन.
If I visit definitely.
पार्थ सारथी स्वामी टेम्पल
Good temple.
ट्रिप्लिकेन चेन्नई मद्रास में. चलो वी विल मूव. थैंक यू सो मच मैम फॉर शेयरिंग. नल्ली मैम.
Thanks for
It's good
sharing.
that we
Even
share
I am
with
from
each other.
South.
हाँ, she is from Madurai.
I think there also now
Shivakasi.
one
I was born
festival
and
just
brought up in
in Madurai
हाँ.
also just now one festival has happened. This Chitra Paurnami, that Alagar temple is there, Mataji. That also is Krishna temple is very very famous this month.
Okay. Good.
You are from Nalini?
I'm from Coimbatore.
Coimbatore. Okay. You know Tamil?
Yes, I know Tamil.
Tamil Terima.
Ah, no.
Okay, we'll move to Shloka 12 now. Shloka 12 meaning na never, tu however, eva certainly, aham I, jatu at any time, na nor, asam exist, na nor, tvam you, na nor, ime these, janadipa kings, na never, cha also, eva indeed, na bhavishyamah shall not exist, sarve vayam all of us, ataparam hereafter. Sri Krishna ji continues, never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to exist. So, what does it mean? Sri Krishna ji is saying that our Atma or soul is immortal, it is there forever, it's always existing. It was there in the past, it is there now, and it will be there in future. So, what dies? It is the body. The body dies, but the soul is always here. So, Sri Krishna ji is saying that we have come before also. He is telling to Arjun that we have come before in the past, now also we are here, and we will be there in the future as well. So, basically, he is trying to justify the deaths which are going to happen. So, death will be for the body, but the soul will be there. So basically, Sri Krishna ji is telling that we should not grieve on anybody's death. It is just the material body, but the soul is there. According to Srimad Bhagwad Gita, what is important is the soul. The important is the soul. Body is just material thing which will die. That is not an issue. Sri Krishna ji says you should not be attached. You should not be attached to the body. You should not grieve. So this is what has been said in Shloka 12. Yeah, who's going to say? Yes, Ritu Bhavi.
In Sloka 12, Krishna says to Arjun that there was no time when your soul did not exist, or neither there will be a time in future when it will not exist. So our soul is immortal and only the body changes. So he's trying to say that all these people who are going to die, it is just their body which is going to die.
Yes, thank you.
Can I leave, Pinky? I am a little urgent.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Bye. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Nalli ma'am.
So here, this material body is temporary and the soul is always existing. There is no end for the soul. So it is wise not to lament for the this body which is temporary. There is no point in grieving for the body.
Thank you so much. Siddhant.
Yes, ma'am. So here, Lord Shri Krishna is trying to justify for all the deaths that is about to happen in the war. So here he's saying that there's no time in the past, the future, or the present that the soul will not exist. So in the future, the soul will exist, but the body will die. So here he's trying to say that all his relatives, their bodies might die, but their soul will live on and transfer to the next body.
Thank you so much. Anjali ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So here, Sri Krishna ji is telling uh, there was no time and there is no time that where I was or I am not there at all. So it's like there was no time. The kings were also not there at all. Even in the future, there is no time that where I will not be there at all. So I was there, I am here, and I will be there all the time for you all. That's what is stated.
Thank you so much. Akriti.
So Sri Krishna is telling Arjun that the soul, there is no time in the future when the soul is not there. The body might die, but the soul will always be there. The soul is imperishable and the body is perishable.
Thank you. Vandana Didi.
Uh, Here Krishnaji is telling the same thing everyone said. When body dies, soul is immortal, like it's there forever. It is there here, was in the past, is in the present, and will be in the future, and we all will be there. Only the body dies. So here nothing to grieve. Don't grieve and be wise and don't fight. Ultimately, he's telling